Hi, my name is Obad Alawan.
Rock pigeon.
The rock pigeon, Columbilivia, or rock dove, is a member of the bird family Columbidae, doves and pigeons. In common usage, this bird is often simply referred to as the pigeon. The species includes the domestic pigeon, including the fancy pigeon, and escaped domestic pigeons have given rise to feral populations around the world. Wild rock pigeons are pale gray with 2 black bars on each wing. Although domestic and feral pigeons are very variable in color and pattern, there are few visible differences between males and females. The species is generally monogamous, with 2 skeekers, young, per brood. Both parents care for the young for a time. Habitats include various open and semi-open environments, including agricultural and urban areas. Cliffs and rock ledges are used for roosting and breeding in the wild. Originally found wild in Europe, North Africa, and Western Asia, Arabian Peninsula, and other of the world, feral rock pigeons have become established in cities around the world. The species is abundant, with an estimated population of 17 to 28 million feral and wild birds in Europe.
Taxonomy and naming.
The rock pigeon was first described by Pigeon in 1789. The genus name Columba is the Latinized form of the ancient Greek Koma Columbos, a diver, from Koma Columbao, dive, plunge headlong, swim. Aristophanes, birds, 304, and others use the word Koma columbes, diver, for the name of the bird, because of its swimming motion in the air. The specific epithet is derived from the Latin liver, bluish. Its closest relative in the Columba genus is the hill pigeon, followed by the other rock pigeons, the snow, speckled and white-collared pigeons. The species is also known as the rock dove or blue rock dove, the former being the official name used by the British Ornithologists' Union and the American Ornithologists' Union until 2004, at which point they changed their official listing of the bird to rock pigeon. In common usage, this bird is often simply referred to as the pigeon. Baby pigeons are called squabs.
Subspecies. There are 12 subspecies recognized by Gibbs, 2000. Some of these may be derived from feral stock.
C. L. Livia, the nominate subspecies, occurs in Western and Southern Europe, Northern Africa, and Asia to Western Kazakhstan, the Northern Caucasus, Georgia, Cyprus, Turkey and Iraq. C. L. Atlantis, Bannerman, 1931, of Madeira, the Azores and Cape Verde, is a very variable population with checkered upperparts obscuring the black wing bars, and is almost certainly derived from feral pigeons. C. L. Canariensis, Bannerman, 1914, of the Canary Islands, is smaller and averages darker than the nominate subspecies. C. L. Gymnocyclus, Great, 1856, from Senegal and Guinea to Ghana and Nigeria is smaller and very much darker than nominate. C. L. Livia. It is almost blackish on the head, rump and underparts with the white back and the iridescence of the nape extending onto the head. C. L. Tharja, Grevench-Weppenberg, 1916, breeds in the mountains of the Sahara east to Sudan. It is slightly smaller than the nominate form, with similar plumage, but the back is concolorous with the mantle instead of white. C. L. Dackley, Richard Meinertzhagen, 1928, is confined to the two oases in central Egypt. It is smaller and much paler than the nominate subspecies. C. L. Simperi, Bonaparte, 1854, is found in the Nile Delta south to northern Sudan. It closely resembles C. L. Tharja, but has a distinctly paler mantle. C. L. Palestini, Zedlitz, 1912, occurs from Syria to Sinai and Arabia. It is slightly larger than C. L. Simperi and has darker plumage. C. L. Gadi, Zarodny and Ludny, 1906, breeds from Azerbaijan and Iran east to Uzbekistan is larger and paler than C. L. Palestini, with which it intergrades in the west. It also intergrades with the next subspecies to the east, C. L. Neglecta, Hume, 1873, is found in the mountains of eastern Central Asia. It is similar to the nominate subspecies in size, but is darker with a stronger and more extensive iridescent sheen on the neck. It intergrades with the next race in the south. C. L. Intermedia, Strickland, 1844, occurs in Sri Lanka and in India south of the Himalayan range of C. L. neglecta. It is similar to that subspecies, but darker with a less contrasting back. C. L. nigricans, Bucherlin, 1908, in Mongolia and North China is variable and probably derived from feral stock.
Description:
The adult of the nominate subspecies of the rock pigeon is 30–37 cm, 12–14½ in, long with a 64–72 cm, 25–28 in, wingspan. It has a dark bluish-gray head, neck, and chest with glossy yellowish, greenish, and reddish-purple iridescence along its neck and wing feathers. The iris is orange, red or golden with a pale orange ring, and the bare skin round the eye is bluish-gray. The bill is gray-black with the conspicuous off-white cere, and the feet are purplish red. The adult female is almost identical to the male, but the iridescence on the neck is less intense and more restricted to the rear and sides, while that on the breast is often very obscure. The white lower back of the pure rock pigeon is its best identification character. The two black bars on its pale gray wings are also distinctive. The tail has a black band on the end and the outer weave of the tail feathers are margined with white. It is strong and quick on the wing, dashing out from sea caves, flying low over the water, its light or gray rump showing well from above. Young birds show little luster and are duller. Eye color of the pigeon is generally orange, but a few pigeons may have white-gray eyes. The eyelids are orange in color and are encapsulated in a gray-white eye ring. The feet are at the pink. When circling overhead, the white underwing of the bird becomes conspicuous. In its flight, behavior, and voice, which is more of a dove-cuckoo than the phrase of the wood pigeon, it is a typical pigeon. Although it is a relatively strong flyer, it also glides frequently, holding its wings in a very pronounced V shape as it does. Though fields are visited for grain and green food, it is nowhere so plentiful as to be a pest. Pigeons feed on the ground in flocks or individually. They roost together in buildings or on walls or statues. When drinking, most birds take small sips and tilt their heads backwards to swallow the water. Pigeons are able to dip their bills into the water and drink continuously without having to tilt their heads back. When disturbed, a pigeon in a group will take off with a noisy clapping sound. Pigeons, especially homing or carrier breeds, are well known for their ability to find their way home from long distances. Despite these demonstrated abilities, wild rock pigeons are sedentary and rarely leave their local areas.
Distribution and habitat.
The rock pigeon has a restricted natural resident range in western and southern Europe, North Africa, Arabian Peninsula, and into South Asia. The rock pigeon is often found in pairs in the breeding season but is usually gregarious. The species, including ferals, has a large range, with an estimated global extent of occurrence of 10 million kilometers squared. It has a large global population, including an estimated 17–28 million individuals in Europe. Fossil evidence suggests the rock pigeon originated in southern Asia and skeletal remains unearthed in Israel confirm their existence there for at least 300,000 years. Its habitat is natural cliffs, usually on coasts. Its domesticated form, the feral pigeon, has been widely introduced elsewhere, and is common, especially in cities, over much of the world. A rock pigeon's lifespan is anywhere from 3–5 years. In the wild to 15 years in captivity, though longer-lived specimens have been reported. The species was first introduced to North America in 1606 at Port Royal, Nova Scotia.
Reproduction.
The rock pigeon breeds at any time of the year, but peak times are spring and summer. Nesting sites are situated along coastal cliff faces, as well as the artificial cliff faces created by apartment buildings with accessible ledges or roof spaces. The type of nest constructed is a flimsy platform of straw and sticks, put on ledge, under cover. Often wind the ledges of buildings. Two white eggs are laid with incubation that is shared by both parents lasting from 17 to 19 days. The nestling has pale yellow down and a flesh-colored bill with a dark band. It is tended and fed on crop milk like other doves. The fledging period is 30 days.
Predators.
Pigeons may harbor diverse parasite fauna. They often host the intestinal helminths Capillaria columbi and Ascaridia columbi. Their ectoparasites include the Asnoceran lice columbi, Cola columbi, Campanulotes bidentatus camper, the Amblycer and lice Bonamila columbi, Ho horse lilata, Colpocephalum turbinidum, the mutts Inamnesis smeller, Dermenesis galani, Dermaglyphus columbi, Falculifer rostratus, and Plagidia columbi. The hippobossid fly Pseudolinca canariensis is a typical blood-sucking ectoparasite of pigeons, found only in subtropical regions.
Feral pigeon.
Many domestic birds have escaped or been released over the years, and have given rise to the feral pigeon. These show a variety of plumages, although some have the blue barred pattern like the Purock pigeon does.